Well, thank you very much, Dr. Krishna Prasad and AIC for this opportunity. I realize we're running a little bit behind time, so I'm going to try to move really fast. If you have any questions, please feel free to catch me after this. So I'm going to just take a couple minutes of your valuable time to talk about our approach to childhood blindness. And just a few very basic facts which I'd really like for all of us to remember and really publicize across our fraternity. So first and foremost, that every minute one child goes blind somewhere in the world. And in addition to that, more specific to our country, we have about 9.3 million children who are visually impaired in India, of which almost 300,000 are blind. A disclaimer over here, this is based on a very, very old study, just extrapolated to current population data. So there is a huge need for more recent epidemiological data to facilitate better planning. Two more points which I really want to highlight here is that childhood blindness does kill. Very often we end up taking a backseat to HIV and cardiac care and road traffic accidents in the public health scene. But we really need to emphasize the fact that childhood blindness does kill to the extent that under 5 childhood mortality is actually used as a surrogate measure for prevalence of blindness in that age group. And the other thing is, I think this was already referred to earlier, in terms of blind person years, childhood blindness is second only to cataract blindness. Historically, we've seen that a lot of NPCB efforts have been towards cataract blindness. Well, we should be next in line for that money. So how are we addressing this? In 2002, Orbis launched the India Childhood Blindness Initiative, and this is all about children. So what exactly is it that we preach? There are 4 basic principles on which we function. First of all, it has to be patient-centric and child-friendly. And personally, I just love this picture because it reminds me of my daughter, the feet. In addition to being child-friendly, we have to be comprehensive. And when I get to this, I'll talk about the comprehensiveness both from the clinical and the non-clinical perspective. It has to definitely be quality-driven. And if we're talking about the community, it should address the needs of the community, using the community as an active tool and participant in this process. Well, a basic dictum, if you're in the business of preaching, you better be practicing what you preach. So what exactly do we do? Well, if you have 3 little girls who are this happy, then you obviously are fairly child-friendly, and this is one of our aims. From the moment a child steps into any one of our facilities, they should want to keep coming back. The place has to have a nice look and feel to it, nice and colorful, a play area, nice bright colors, even the treatment room, and definitely see if you can keep some soft toys or something to keep your children active and engaged. In terms of communication, again, you are targeting kids. They will not respond to black and white text all the time. So to that end, we have launched our Orbis mascot, and this is Twinkle. You can also say hi to Twinkle. And we're using Twinkle in everything, all communication that we produce now. From the Vision Screening Handbook for Teachers, which is already available in multiple languages. We have about 5 more languages which partners are currently translating this into. And if you know of any other languages or somebody else who'd like to translate, please do let me know. In fact, we've gone international. We have a Chinese version also. Last year on World Sight Day, we worked with Diamond Comics and released a Chacha Chaudhary comic, which is about eye care and eye injuries and what to do for first aid in eye care in children. And this has been very well received by partners. This was launched in Bangalore during World Sight Day. We hope to actually have a comic strip this year, a video, and something more creative with Diamond Comics around World Sight Day. Now, when it comes to children, we need to be really cognizant of the fact that a child is not a small adult. A child is a child. And you need to train the team to be sensitive to the requirements of the child. All the way from the pediatric ophthalmologist, which you might recognize somebody in the room, all the way from there to the optometrist, to the patient counselor, to your anesthetist. Even your outreach activities have to be created and executed in a manner which addresses the need of children in the field. When I'm talking about comprehensiveness, I don't just mean pediatric ophthalmology with support from retina, glaucoma, cornea. It's about things outside of the 4 walls of your hospital. And very often, being clinicians, we're very centered about the clinical care and what's happening and do we have good visual outcomes. But your services have to be accessible. You might be stuck in mud. You might be crossing a bridge which normally even without a load on your back, you might not want to go across. And this is, it takes effort to go out to the field to do that. Your services need to be available, affordable to all sections of society, and acceptable. Very often when you're talking about glasses, you always get a lot of pushback from people in the field regarding acceptability. But if you can get a smile like that on the kid's face and the siblings and friends and the mother, I think that's when you've actually achieved social acceptability. And last but not the least, awareness. Yes, there are studies now which say amblyopia treatment, the visual pathway is more elastic than we thought it was earlier. But the fact of the matter still remains, the earlier the better. And we should always work towards that. Talking about quality, what we've done from the Orbis perspective is, previously we used to have a 4-year project period, which some of our partners here are aware of, where we developed the Children's Eye Center. Now we precede that with a 2-year comprehensive institutional quality improvement phase, where we actually have a quality resource center developed specifically for that, and try to inculcate a cultural ideological shift in the partner towards quality and efficiency. We work with the partner to write SOPs for all clinical and non-clinical functions, develop a quality vision, teach them about quality tools, create the steering committee and other subcommittees, and also create baseline data so that at the end of 6 years, when you finish your work together, you can actually see whether it's made a difference or not. Community-oriented, I think a lot of this has already been covered, so I'll go through it really fast. Key informants, everybody from school teachers to Anganwadi workers to training of the media, all other healthcare workers in the field. Community screening camp, something which we all do. Just want to reinforce over here, rural is great, but please don't forget your urban pockets which need services. School teachers, 80% of what a child learns is visual. And with this, there's one advocacy message we've been trying to promote. It's over here at the bottom. And that is that every child has a right to an early, good quality eye examination, care and support to fulfill their fundamental right to education. The thing here is to link good quality eye care in children and child eye health to education. The fundamental right to education for a child is something which you can very rarely have an argument against. The Vision Center, again, a very good tool for a permanent service delivery point in the community. So what exactly is our philosophy? Well, yes, it's in our tagline, it starts with vision, but it just starts with vision. When a child can see better, it's much more than vision. It lightens the family burden. It gives a child the ability to work and live and learn amongst its peers, empowers a child to give back to community and become part of the bigger picture. And this is a ripple effect which will radiate out to the entire community. Well, if a child can see better, the family can earn more, the community will flourish, the nation will prosper, and hopefully the world will be a better place to live in. To make this whole philosophy and strategy to move from theory to more practical and see the tangible effects of this, well, in 2002, when the India Childhood Blindness Initiative was launched, there were 4 dedicated pediatric ophthalmology centers in the country. Since then, with Orbis support alone, we have 32 centers across 18 states in the country, and this is currently the world's largest childhood blindness initiative anywhere. And in addition to this, there are a lot of other players, even in this room, who have done fabulous work in the field of childhood blindness. Annually, our partners reach almost 1 million children across the country. And I'm just going to play a short video. This video is actually about a case study in Nepal, but the principles and the problems are pretty much the same even here.
The avoiding question, access to quality eye care is part of the solution. But in many cases around the world, access to eye care is limited due to lack of transportation, inability to pay costs, or lack of education about where to receive help. Meet Shamila and Rumi. Their family is unfortunately predisposed to cataracts. Both siblings started to develop provided free surgery in March, which helped the family make the journey. Sharmila and Naveen received surgery and had their cataracts successfully removed. Sharmila is now in 7-year studies and has dreams of going to college and becoming a banker. Naveen now read and write more clearly and is able to help his family with daily chores. With access to quality eye care, families at peace can see new possibilities. Join us. Be a part of the solution.
Well, just to wrap up, whatever philosophy you have and strategy you have, it's all really great, but you need to know where you're heading. I mean, what is the end game, and really where do you want to go with all of that? And I'd just like to end off with our dream, and this is our common objective and our guiding light, a nation where no child is needlessly blind or visually impaired. Thank you so much.